So are you ready for the question answer round, guys? Yes or no? Yes? Shall I ask the questions now? No, ma'am. I'm not hearing anything. Okay. So we'll having the question answer session post lunch. Okay. Right now we'll be beginning with the panel discussion round. Okay. In order to initiate the panel discussion, I would like to invite moderator Dr. Siddharth Jayamuthan. He is the distinguished sports medicine consultant and has presented various papers on national and international level. Sir, most welcome on stage. A big clap for Dr. Siddharth, please. And our eminent panelists are Dr. Anirban Malik. He is the renowned sports physician in National Institute of Sports and also a team physician for Indian men boxing and hockey team. So most welcome on stage, please. A big clap for Dr. Anirban, please. Okay. Now the next guest for panel discussion is Dr. Satbir Singh. He is the noted sports medicine consultant who has been former Indian hockey team women team physician and exercise physiologist expert. He is also former BCCI Specialist Academy and the list will go on. Sir, most welcome on stage. A big clap for Sir, please. Thank you. The next panelist I would like to invite on stage is Dr. Mohit Dua. He is notable Assistant Professor, Department of Sports Medicine, and also having a fellowship in sports medicine in UK, Vienna, and Australia. A big clap for Dr. Mohit Dua. Sir, most welcome on stage. Thank you. The next panelist which I would like to invite is Dr. Person Kanagapati. So most welcome on stage. He is actually a noted professor in Padma Shri Institute of Physiotherapy, Bengaluru, and also leading physiotherapy specializing in manual therapy. A big clap for sir once again. Yes, thank you. Next, I would like to invite on stage dietitian Ms. Shweta Gattani, please. She is an eminent sports nutritionist expert. Ma'am, most welcome on stage. A big clap for her.
Thank you for attending the session. I would like to thank the panelists for being here. So before we started, the topic is on what makes a supreme athlete. So I'll start with Dr. Anirban because...
Sir, I would like to interrupt you. I'm really sorry for that. I would also like to invite Dr. Sohail Bansali for the panel discussion. Mr. Sohail Bansali for the panel discussion, please come forward on the stage. A big clap for him. As if your energy is getting down, we will have the lunch soon here. My apologies again, sir, for the same. Alright, we'll start with the session.
We have a lot of distinguished guests. So I'll start with Dr. Anirban because he heads the NIS Patiala and he deals with a lot of elite athletes as well as the boxing team. So what, according to you, is how do we make our athletes supreme and what is the ideal athlete according to you?
Yeah, good afternoon. Good afternoon, everybody. Yeah, the question is a bit difficult to answer. First of all, to define a supreme athlete is a difficult thing. because we know the athletes based on their, not only their performance, there are other factors also. So when we choose athletes at the grassroots level, the scenario will be different. And when we choose our athlete at our elite level, the scenario will be different. A model to identify the elite athlete cannot be replicated from other system. So it has to be a system developed within your system. There is a model, but again, you can copy that. There is a model how we identify raw talent. Something called detection, selection, their nurturing and then development. But again, it is a model that you should not copy, but you can take, you can say the experience from the model where it is used right now. And when you choose an athlete, then it starts the monitoring of the athlete. So there are different criteria to monitor an athlete from medical point of view, from physical point of view, from other scientific point of view. And then we can go up to a certain level when we can say he or she is now ready to represent at the elite level.
Thank you. I'll go with next with Dr. Satbeer. Since you deal also with a lot of exercise physiology cases, I thought that I'll go a little bit into that because we have been hearing a lot about the rehab, the injury, but the exercise physiology aspect is something which usually is missed out. And as a sports medicine, we need to know a lot about exercise physiology. So, to make a supreme athlete, how does exercise physiology come into it?
First I'll answer your question. How the exercise physiology comes into play. We need to have labs who will identify the exercise physiology parameters for the athletes and then train them and then further monitor it. We need to have high quality research labs, which are there at one or two places. NIS is one of the places. Abhinav Bindra targeting performance. He has started a couple of labs across the country. But I'm sorry to say most of these labs at NIS, in the Science Authority, Sports Authority of India, they are defunct and most of the facilities do not work at times. We need to address that. I was with the Indian hockey team and we did exercise physiology tests for all of them. We went for the whole body parameter checks. Can you imagine the hemoglobin level of these girls who are playing for the country, playing for India? 10.5, 10.6, 11.1, 11.2 was the maximum. So they're all anemic. How do you perform? How do you expect them to perform at the highest level? The physiology does not allow them. Why can't as an exercise physiologist, we can intervene, give them iron infusions and bring them their hemoglobin up to 12.5 levels? So these are some of the things we need to look into. Then for the making of supreme athletes, we need to identify the talent at the grassroots level. We need to have a team of experts who will identify at the grassroots level. Here I would like to quote the one instance of the Army. Army Sport Institute has started Boys Sports Company. Now if you remember S.K. Sunil, the right flank Indian hockey team, who was considered one of the most electric right out flank in the world. He is a product of Army Sports Institute, the Boys Sports Company. What they do is, they pick up the boys at the age of 8 to 12 and then they absorb them 100%. Their academics, nutrition, everything is taken care by them and also give them a stipend and then they are with them throughout. Jeremy, one of the Northeast guys, has broken all records, he's 19-year-old. He's also a product of the Army Sports Institute. Then similarly, a couple of boxers who have come, they have also come from the same channel. So likewise, we need to have some specialized centers of excellence across the country at all state levels, at all national levels. Here again, I would like to quote another example of BCCI. I believe, having worked with BCCI from 2010 to 2018, BCCI has been running this sport in the best possible manner in the country. I've seen athletics, I've seen handball, volleyball, other sports, but they are running it in the best possible manner. They have a system. Virat Kohli, he has come through the same channel. having played under 16, under 19 World Cup, and then he's come to the senior. So they have a system in place from where they graduate. Supreme athlete is not made in a single day. It is a process. It's years of hard work, 15, 20 years of hard work, and then you see a guy playing for your international team. So we need to work on a lot of things, and hopefully there are other panels who throw further light on it. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Satbir. So what we have understood is that you need a stepwise approach and you need the multiple centers of excellence. That definitely helps in making a supreme athlete. I'll come to Dr. Mohit. In your experiences, you have worked with a number of athletes as well as children. So a lot of now, since money has been coming into sports, I feel that for the past 3 years, 4 years, a lot of money has been, usually it's always cricket, but other sports have started growing up now. And a lot of grassroots development is coming, especially in football, which you see. So from a grassroots level, what would you say needs to be done to make a supreme athlete?
I think the money which has been given to the people is very motivating. So the people who are coming like 4 or 5, they are coming in 10 for the money. Because most of the sports people are from the village nearby. And the motivation is for them is to support their families. And I think the money matters. And I think more and more the government pay them, more and more they will be motivated to come to the sport and perform for their country. So most of our, if you see our population of sports players, 70% are the people who are from villages. So that's what the government has to pay attention to give them motivation in the form of money or in the form of any jobs or something like that. I think this can really motivate the sports players to come more and more and perform better and better.
Yeah, I feel a lot of, there are a lot of missed out talents. Like now in the big news is there that we had a farmer who ran with a bullock. He ran defeating Usain Bolt speed. So we do have a lot of hidden talents, and I think that is what is something missed out. And just recently I just read a tweet also by Mahindra saying that just look at his body, he has such a body, and how come he's not taking any steroid or any supplements, and without that any additional food, and yet he's able to do it. That means something is wrong somewhere with us. So the next question I'll go to Dr. Pearson. So, sir, since you are a physio and you work with a lot of athletes as well, we have got a lot of physios out here too. So if you had to recommend to a physio, like you have got a good an athlete, so how do you take it from the next level, from that level to the next level? As a physio, how do you help it?
Good afternoon. So I would like to recommend about speed and strength. So you have to
Not audible.
I think you can use the mic, that will be easier.
I would focus upon the strength, speed, and stamina. So it varies according to the sports, what they do. So whichever sports they get involved, the strength part varies. Maybe a upper quadrant or a lower quadrant, or maybe a dominant muscle. And the speed also, it depends upon 100 meters or whichever activity or whichever in the athletic goes for. And stamina, when I see, like I did my Australian Physiotherapy Association Sports Level 1 course. Okay, so the stamina part plays a major role. So if you give a chance to the Western country, they are going to beat us in various sports, which we are dominant. So the stamina part which we have to look in terms of overall. So that's what happened with many of our mother sports. So we would look into that area. And how we go about as a physiotherapist, we think about strength and storage of energy and trying to use that storage of energy according to the capacity needed. So that's a way, as a physiotherapist, I will focus on.
Yeah, so that's a good point. So basically, since we have a lot of physios out there, usually when athletes come, I think most of us have a tendency to just look up at the injury part and say that, okay, this is what the injury. We forget about what to take up to the next level. So usually what I tell is that as we are sports medicine people, we look at 3 levels. I feel that we look at the suboptimal, optimal and supraoptimal. So suboptimal is where usually we get injured and that is where we treat. Optimal is just, a person who's normal, he's healthy and we just take care of them, see that they're doing well. While supraoptimal is the next level where we take them to the next performance level. So these 3 levels is very prime, easy way to explain to a normal person what is sports medicine is. Covering all the 3 bases, you have covered everything. And so coming to that, I'll come to the nutritionists among us. So usually what all athletes come to me and they ask me is that, doctor, I work hard, I exercise quite a bit. What is the best supplement for me? And I'll go with the most difficult question always. It's a very complicated question. I know that, like what supplement. So if you can keep it as simple as possible, as what's the best way to take it up to the next level? How do you tell them that, okay, these are the best ways to go about it?
I just tell them that a well-balanced diet, a diet which includes proper ratio of carbs with protein, with good fats will be ideal. So that is how it works. A good well-balanced diet works, and I don't go for not natural ways unless it's very important. So I feel there are a lot of natural ways also of supplementing. Like people are crazy for BCAAs, like branched amino acids, but a lot of them don't even know that it is available in our natural food. So that is the way we counsel them, we train them that first to go for these options and see how their performance is. If it's the same, if it's increasing, then it's fine. If it's not, then if they want to increase their performance by the other sources, then we provide them and ask them for that.
I think
just want to add something regarding this point. If you want an idea about the sports supplement, we have a menu list prepared by Ministry of Sports, Government of India. We usually modify it in every 2 years. If you go to Ministry's website, you will see our supplement code. You can download that. Those are the generic name that has been approved by Government of India, and we usually reimburse those money to our athletes. And that list is based on the AIS grading system as well as the International Olympic Committee consensus. So that is the best evidence you can get from our Indian perspective, and that is a wholesome menu. So it is not a sports specific. Then you can choose from those menu whichever you want to take.
So I'll go with the last panelist. So since we have, I think we have spoken most about the grassroots, the exercise physiology, the nutrition, the strength aspect, the endurance aspect. So from your perspective, what you feel is that what could take to the next level from these?
I think I'll be combining a few points by Dr. Anil and Dr. Mohan, that running a professional football club, I know how we start from the grassroots program. And bringing in the European mythology in India, where kids generally start by the age of 6 and 7, and by the time they are 16, they are already about having 10 years of professional experience. And then moving on to the elite sport, how probably our country lags behind is the generic sports system. If you look at USA, people are getting paid at college level. They are already entering that professional scenario. Whereas even at 24, 25, once athletes are in that international bracket, they still lack that support, motivation, both from the government and the private perspective. So in order to create that extreme or that supreme sportsman, it's not a one-day process. It's a long journey which begins at the grassroots level, but at the same time it summarizes and is helpful throughout support which is provided at once we enter that elite sport. So of course, as we have all been saying, it's a team effort. So we have our panelists from our physiotherapists, doctor, our nutritionist, our government, but also it is also the mindset of that particular sportsman, how and where he can coach himself.
Thank you. So I'll just go to Dr. Satbeer since he wants to say a point.
I just want to tell you, the connecting link between the complete support staff and the athlete is the coach. And most of the athletes, they blindly believe their coach. The coach says, you jump from there, you jump. That's the kind of faith they have in their coach. So we need to have educated coaches. I'm not saying that they're not educated, but on scientific backup also we need to educate them. Because finally, it is them who the athlete is going to listen to. That's
Yeah, so that is one good thing, like making them have seminars
yeah.
and giving classes. I think NIS does a very good job about that, teaching the coaches and having the classes and interacting with them, and that brings a big rapport between the doctors as well as the coaches, and that's why then they refer the patients also. So since we are short on time, I'll just make it like very short. Give me one point for making a supreme athlete for our audience. What according to you? I'll start with Dr. Anirban, just one point. It's very difficult, I know, but a takeaway message which I can say.
Identification and monitoring.
Yeah, so identification and monitoring, Dr. Satbeer.
Catch them young.
So catch them young. So identification, catch them young.
The teamwork of the people associated with him.
Yeah, so teamwork, that's a very big thing. At the end, what we have understood is teamwork, Dr. Tiansen.
I would go with Dr. Train the coaches.
Okay.
Play a vital role.
Yeah, so train the coaches. So having a link, usually what happens is that we usually in our field, we consider ourselves as expertise. We forget about the coaches involved and we miss out that link, and we try to interact more with the athlete than with the coaches too. So that is something which is a very good important takeaway message which I feel with you, sir.
I'll go for character strength and technical training.
So corrective strength and technical training, so that's something which is important too, and nutrition is the one.
You to see the 4 R's: repair, recovery, refueling, and rehydration, and it takes care of everything.
I think the 4 R's is an amazing word. So I think she has brought out the whole thing, link of everything. So I would like to thank the panelists for coming in. I know it's a very short, we can move on for hours on this topic because it's quite a wide, it's a very wide topic, making a supreme athlete, and so to go on each aspect is quite difficult. So what we've understood is that you need to identify the athletes, you need good government support, you need also to have an interlink between all the team and then you need, as she said, the 4 R's which helps in making the supreme athlete. So I would like to thank all the panelists for coming on stage. I would like to thank them for giving their brilliant innovation and ideas. So thank you for having us.
So now we'll begin with some quiz round here. So let's see how attentive you all are, guys. Okay. Effective immediate treatment of EMAM, exercise-associated muscle cramp. Guys, anyone who can answer this? I'm repeating the question. The most effective immediate treatment of EMAM, that is exercise-associated muscle cramp. Anyone who knows the answers? Yes, please, ma'am.
Icing, elevation, compression.
Sorry, ma'am. Yes, sir. What kind of stretching? Is it active or passive? Right? Absolutely right. A big clap for him.
Most common site of BSI in long runners, marathoners, that is BSI is bone stress injury. So I'm repeating my question again. The most common site of bone stress injury in long runners, marathoners. What is the answer? Anyone, please raise your hand.
It's tibia.
Tibia. You're right. And for sprinters, a big clap for him first. It's absolutely right. And the next question is same. The common site of bone stress injury for the sprinter. What is the common site for the sprinters? Yes, anyone who knows that? Metatarsal. You're right. Even tarsals and metatarsals, both are there. Big clap for her. Come on. Great, great. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much. It seems you all are really paying attention to all the sessions which we are having today. That's great. And post-inaugural ceremony, we will be pausing for a short lunch break. And after that, we'll join together again for the keynote sessions. In the meanwhile, any opinion, any advice, or anything which you have learned new here, anybody would like to share something, please come forward on stage. Anyone? Share your advice, share your learnings. It's a learning conference, and definitely you all are here for the learning part. Come on, from the back end, anyone who can come forward and share your experience, what you have learned, what you have learned as a new thing here. Anyone, come on. Or you can stand from your seat only and say, we'll provide you the mic there. Please raise your hand. So you've not learned anything, right? You have not learned anything. I'm not listening. Guys, please wake up. Okay, so majority is here, physiotherapist. Please raise your hand. Oh, awesome crowd. You're welcome. So please tell us your learning. Sorry, didn't hear you. Shall you provide mic to you? Go there at the back. Just say something you'd experienced. What was the motive for you guys to come here and participate in this international conference? And have it been fulfilled? Okay, she is taking the back seat. It's okay, so we'll be fine. Akshay, you can come forward now. So the next question is, unlocking of knee is caused by what? It's pretty easy. Yes. That side. Akshay, that side here, please. Give the mic. Oblivious. Absolutely right. A big hand for her, please. Great. I request, gift should be provided to her now.
Amen.
Thyroid
one of the cause silence children, you're right. But what actually causes the menstrual dysfunction?
Binge eating,
Sorry?
binge eating diet.
You're right. It's diet actually. A big clap for her. It's actually the insufficient calorie intake that causes the menstrual dysfunction amongst the female athlete. Alright? Okay, so we'll go ahead with the next question. Most common ligament injured in ankle injury. What is the most common ligament which is injured in the ankle injury? I'm not able to hear anyone. What? No. Sorry, sir? Exactly. Dr. Deepak has said absolutely right answer. Sir has said anterior tibiofibular ligament, sir. A big clap for sir. Thank you, sir. Next question is, which muscle has intra-articular extension in knee? Please raise your hand and say it on mic, please. It's a request. Akshay, you need to be very vigilant and you need to see who is raising the hand and you need to go towards them. Please take the mic.
Sartorius.
Sorry. Anyone else who want to try? Come on, physios, you have to say the right answer.
Popliteus.
Very good. It's popliteus. A big clap. Well, our second international conference on sports and exercise medicine 2020, as you all know, this year conference theme is endurance. And I would like to thank the respected organizations for supporting the conference. Indian Orthopedic Association, Rajasthan Orthopedic Surgeon Association, Jaipur Runners Club, Golden Divine, Max Medical, Rajasthan Kickboxing Association, Rajasthan Karate Association, Jaipur Medical Association, Medical Practitioner Society, Doctor Premier League and Rajasthan Athletics Association. A big clap for all of these supporters, without whom we will not be standing here today. Well, our respected chief guest has arrived. A big clap for him, please. So we have Alright. So I would like to Dari, a renowned personality, principal and controller and senior professor of Department of Medicine, SMS College. Sir, you're most welcome on stage here on the dais. Sir, please welcome. Sir will be escorted by Dr. Ashish Mittal, and I request Dr. Ashish Mittal to kindly come forward and present our honorable chief guest with a welcoming bouquet. A big clap for our honorable chief guest, please. Thank you all. Thank you. Okay. And present him the welcoming bouquet. Dr. Rakesh Bhargav. He is the president of Jaipur Orthopedic Society. He is also the former president of ROSA, that is Rajasthan Orthopedic Surgeon Association. He is also the former head of Department of Orthopedic at SMS Hospital and MIMS. Sir, most welcome on stage. A big clap for him. I request Dr. Gauri Khatri to escort Dr. Rakesh Bhargav and present him with the welcoming bouquet. Dr. Jayant Sen is the Secretary of Jaipur Orthopedic Society. He is also former Secretary of ROSA, that is Rajasthan Orthopedic Surgeon Association. So most welcome on stage. And I would request Dr. Rajiv Duggar to escort Dr. Jayant Sen and welcome him with the welcoming bouquet. By Dr. Rahul Katta. He is the Secretary of ROSA, Rajasthan Orthopedic Surgeon Association. So please most welcome on stage. I'm sorry to say that he is presently not available here in the auditorium. Next, I would like to invite Dr. Girish Chauhan. He is the President of Jaipur Medical Association and Senior General Surgeon at SMS. A big clap for Dr. Girish Chauhan, please. Dr. Vikas Mathur to come forward and escort him and welcome him with the welcoming bouquet. Sir, please come forward. Light and brightness has always been equated with positivity, motivation, and associated well spiritual way. Just like a lighted lamp does not speak, it introduces itself through its light. Achievers never express themselves, but their achievement does. So to express this great achievement of organizing the second ICSPM 2020 and to make this day a blessed one, may we all seek the blessings from the goddess Saraswati by lightening the lamp of knowledge and wisdom. I request National Conference of Sports, Exercise and Medicine 2020 to honor our treasured dignitaries with the mementos. Dr. Ashish Mittal, please come forward. Thank you so much. Next, I would request Dr. Ashish Mittal to honor Dr. D.S. Mittal, Dr. D.S. Meena with the memento. A big clap for Dr. D.S. Meena, please. Thank you all. Next, I would request Dr. Ashish Mittal to honor Dr. Rakesh Bhargav with a memento. Thank you all. Next, I would request Dr. Ashish Mittal to present the memento to Dr. Jayant Sen. A big clap for Dr. Jayant Sen. Thank you. Now I would request Dr. Ashish Mittal to present the memento to Dr. Girish Chauhan. A big clap for Dr. Girish Chauhan. Sports Exercise and Medicine, Dr. Ashish Mittal with the memento. A big clap for them.
Yes.
Honorable Chief Guest, Principal and Controller of SMS Medical College and Hospital, attached hospitals, Senior Professor Medicine, Dr. Sudhir Bhandari sir, Honorable Guest of Honor, Medical Superintendent of SMS Medical College and attached hospitals, Senior Professor in Orthopedics, Dr. D.S. Meena sir, former Head of the Department, Orthopedics, SMS Medical College and NIMS Medical College, Senior Professor Dr. Rakesh Bhargav sir, former Secretary to Rosa Rajasthan Orthopedic Surgeon Association and Secretary to Jaipur Orthopedic Society, Dr. Jain Sen sir, President of Jaipur Medical Association and my dear friend Dr. Girish Chauhan sir, and Senior Sports Physiotherapist Dhruv Taneja, dear friends, colleagues and seniors. It gives me great pleasure to welcome you all to the second International Conference on Sports and Exercise Medicine ICSEM 2020 at this beautiful pink city of Jaipur. It is a great moment for all of us as this gives us an opportunity to share and exchange knowledge and experiences and ideas amongst the relevant stakeholders. The goal of this conference ICSEM 2020 is to promote and develop sports medicine in the whole region and working towards its recognition as a primary specialty of medicine. Sports medicine is a multidisciplinary clinical and academic specialty which mainly deals with health promotion, prevention and treatment of sports injuries, as well as many medical problems in both elite athletes as well as general practitioners who are practicing sports activities in general population who are practicing sports activities in their day-to-day routine life. The theme of this conference is endurance. So endurance is the ability to continue or to keep going in spite of hardships, in spite of stress, fatigue or tough times. Endurance basically is not just a physical trait. This characteristic of endurance is what keeps us moving when the times get tough. So this conference is multidisciplinary, involving not only sports physicians who are routinely following elite athletes in their day-to-day practice, but it also involves other general medical practitioners as well as medical specialists who believe that physical activity is basis and future for proper physical and mental development, and also in treating wide range of non-communicable diseases. So I take this opportunity to thank all of you for your presence at this conference, and I extend my gratitude to the whole organizing team of ICSEM 2020 who worked tirelessly to make this event a reality and successful. I am very thankful to all the dignitaries on the dais who have spared their precious time from their busy schedule to attend this inaugural ceremony of ICSEM 2020, and I look forward to organize this event yearly with your support. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Next, I would like to invite here Dr. Rakesh Bhargav to come forward and say a few words. So, most welcome here, please.
My friend Dr. Sudhir Bhandari and other dignitaries on the dais, I'm grateful to be present here to address the second International Conference on Sports Medicine. When I was the head of the department, it was my endeavor that we should develop the super specialties in orthopedics to the best of our ability. One of the examples of that is your present chief guest, Dr. D.S. Meena. Actually, he'll vouch for me that it was I who pushed him into going in for the external fixator specialization. The second example is here right before you, Dr. Ashish Mittal. He was my student, and I am so glad that he has now developed into a sports medicine specialist. It's really enthralling to see the number of participants here, and they are from all the cross sections of the sports medicine people, physiotherapists, sports medicine physicians, orthopedic surgeons, indeed a wide variety of the participants. I'm really thankful to you for inviting me here, and I wish you all the best for this conference. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Next, I would like to invite on podium Dr. Girish Chauhan. Sir, please come forward and say a few words.
मंच पे बैठे हुए सभी आदरणीय टीचर्स और मेरे सभी भाई लोगों को मैं आपका बहुत ज़्यादा स्वागत करता हूं और आशीष को इस कॉन्फ्रेंस में इतनी बढ़िया कॉन्फ्रेंस करने के लिए बहुत बहुत बधाई देता हूं। थैंक्स।
Thank you, sir. Next, I would like to invite on podium Dr. Jayant Sen. Sir, please come forward and say a few words.
Good afternoon, everyone. Respected dignitaries on the dais and dignitaries of the dais, my teachers and dear friends. It is a matter of immense pride and pleasure as we stand here with the second edition of this conference. And Ashish and his team have worked very hard over the last few months to organize this meeting. And I'm glad to see a house full here. And we are sure to deliver a great academic content. So look forward to an academic session in the next 2 days, and best wishes to Ashish and his team for this tremendous get together and putting in this program.
Thank you, sir. Next, I would like to invite our honorable guest of honor, Dr. D.S. Meena, to come forward on podium and say a few words.
प्रणाम गुरुजी, सम्मानित मंच, भाइयों और बहनों, और मेरे सामने सैनी साहब बैठे हैं, रिनाउंड एथलीट, जो उसकी इम्पोर्टेंस समझते होंगी कि इसमें क्या क्या प्रॉब्लम्स एक एथलीट फेस करता है और क्या क्या उसका फिजियोथेरेपिस्ट प्लस उसका स्पोर्ट्स सर्जन उसको कितनी मदद करता है। शायद आने वाली इतनी अच्छी स्पेशलिटी है, एडवांसिंग स्पेशलिटी है, जिसको डेवलपमेंट की आवश्यकता है, और इस बात के लिए हमारे प्रिंसिपल साहब को मैं धन्यवाद देना चाहूँगा, जिन्होंने सीरियसली लिया और स्पोर्ट्स मेडिसिन का सेपरेट डिपार्टमेंट क्रिएट करने के लिए आगे प्रपोजल मूव की। तो मैं इसके लिए बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद देना चाहूँगा प्रिंसिपल साहब को। दूसरा, आशीष की बात करें तो आशीष ही इज़ माई फर्स्ट स्टूडेंट हु हैज़ रजिस्टर्ड अंडर मी। डॉक्टर भार्गव, ही वॉज द वन माई मेंटर. He insists me to go on to correct the deformities and treat these infected non-unions and so and so. So Ashish was my first registered student. Both of us started working on the ring fixators, and right now we have developed so much. We are correcting any sort of deformities. We computerize it, and we have almost 20 publications on the deformity corrections and the ring fixators. All of them are international publications. And I am very thankful to Ashish, इसने हम सबको मिलाया, हमारे स्टूडेंट्स को मिलाया, टीचर्स को मिलाया, तो वेरी वेरी थैंकफुल आशीष। और भविष्य के लिए मैं आपके लिए बहुत बहुत शुभकामनाएं देना चाहूँगा। इतने अच्छे कार्य आप करते रहें। धन्यवाद।
Thank you, sir. Next, I would like to invite on podium our Honorable Chief Guest, Dr. Sudhir Bhandari. Please, sir, come forward and deliver a few words.
Good morning. Respected Dr. Rakesh Bhargav, sir, the organizing person for the international conference, Dr. Ashish Mittal, Dr. D.S. Meena, Dr. Jayan Singh, Dr. Ruth Taneja, and Dr. Girish Shaw. First of all, I congratulate all of you, especially Dr. Mittal, for organizing such a wonderful conference, and you deserve all the compliments and credit for such an international conference. I went through the contents of the conference, and they are so enriching that I'm sure it is going to enlighten all the constituents, paramedics, physiotherapists, and the residents. And I really congratulate for such a wonderful, enriching contents of the conference, which you are going to host for next 2 days. If you look at this, sports medicine is an ancient practice that became known as old as 1855. So first concept of sports medicine started in 1855. During this time, we started to realize the importance of diet and taking the proper vitamins. In 1870, metabolism and heat exchange during exercise was only the treatment when it was introduced. Just have heat exchanges and heat support good vitamins. In 1982, there were specific degrees that universities started to offer for development of the sports as well as exercise medicine. To reflect this paradigm shift, British Association of Sports Medicine changed its nomenclature from British Association of Sports and Exercise Medicine, and the specialty itself has rebranded from sports medicine to the sports and exercise medicine. Hence, it becomes a definite entity. If we say fitness is not about being better than someone else, but it's about being better than you used to be. So you need not to be fitter than someone or your neighbor, but you need not to be fit, you need to be fit than what you were before. Physical activity is an essential component of a healthy lifestyle and has been proved to prevent all metabolic and modify certain disease processes like diabetes, cardiovascular disease, osteoporosis, hyperdyslipidemia, and certain type of cancers also to enhance the quality of life for the people of all ages. Hence, it is not only protective for skeletal system, but overall health of the body. And your theme of endurance is of great relevance. It is passing through a difficult phase for a healthier outcome. Just visiting your conference, I am coming for the cancer survival meeting, and this endurance word is so relevant for every specialty of the medicine that yes, you need to come out of a traumatic situation in a most healthy fashion. It is the health that is real wealth and not the pieces of gold and silver, as said by Mahatma Gandhi. Sports and exercise medicine is a new emerging medical specialty, and some people may associate it exclusively with elite athletes. This is not so. Sports medicine practitioners typically see three groups of patients: elite or competitive athletes, non-competitive and physically active individuals, and those with existing illness or injury who might derive therapeutic benefits from exercise. One of the objectives of sports and exercise medicine is to make physical exercise safe and enjoyable for the patient. It has to be safe and enjoyable so that patient can follow uninterruptedly. The sports medicine physician is able to give advice on any sport or exercise related problem, which would include acute or chronic musculoskeletal injuries, exercise prescription, rehabilitation, nutrition, pre-exercise fitness assessment, prevention of injuries, and providing medical care for large number of athletes and spectators. Sports and exercise medicine practitioners work very closely with other healthcare workers like physiotherapists, podologists, psychologists, and nutritionists. So truly speaking, it is an amalgamation of multiple specialties which delivers the final product. To ensure that patients is treated in a holistic manner, sports medicine focuses on helping people improve their athletic performance, recover from injury, and prevent future injuries, which is a prerequisite when you treat a patient. It is a fast-growing healthcare field because health workers who specialize in sports medicine help all kinds of people, not just athletes. So truly speaking, it is a need of the society before anyone resorts to any major functional loss. Sports medicine professionals treat amateur athletes, those who want better results from their exercise program, people who have suffered injuries and are trying to regain full function, and those with disabilities who are trying to increase mobility and capability. There are many countries where sports medicine is a specialty, it is practically all European countries. Sports medicine is subspecialties in medical countries, and it is becoming an important subspecialty in our country also. You will be happy to know that we have recently 6 newly created departments in SMS, and one of the departments is sports medicine, and we have got 2 PG seats in sports medicine recognized by MCI from this year onwards in SMS hospital. That shows how important this branch is. Orthopedician with the sports medicine knowledge and expertise makes one of the best combinations, and it turns out to be the most useful combination. A sports medicine specialist can also be seen for advice in other areas of health like nutrition, exercise, supplements, and how to prevent injuries before they occur. Prevention of injuries is also certain procedures, certain protocols, certain preventive postures are very important which a sports medicine person can advise. A sports medicine specialist workup to help make the performance of athlete more advanced as well as ensuring their safety while performing the activity. Those who think they have not time for bodily exercise will sooner or later have to find time for illness. So those who don't exercise regularly, probably they will be your best clients in future to come. I, at the end, thank Dr. Ashish Mittal, the organizing chairman, Royal Orthopedic Hospital and Sports Injury Center, for upcoming all the issues and all the deliberations which you are going to have in your conference, and for such a successful conference you have organized. I congratulate you for such a noble subspecialty you are developing, and I wish you all the best for success of this conference. Thank you very much for inviting me. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Now I would
Dr. D.S. Meena, Dr. Rakesh Bhargav sir, Dr. Jayant Singh sir, Dr. Girish Chauhan, and हमारे conference के chairman Dr. Ashish Mittal ji. I thank you a lot on behalf of my entire team for showing up today and delighting us with your gracious presence. Conferences तो बहुत होती रहती हैं. आए दिन हम लोग सुनते हैं कि पूरी दुनिया में इवन आजकल स्पोर्ट्स का एक बहुत बड़ा ट्रेंड चालू है. हम लोगों की जो मेन थीम थी वो थी एंड्योरेंस. लाइक व्हाट एंड्योरेंस स्टैंड्स फॉर. एंड्योरेंस इज नथिंग बट एबिलिटी ऑफ एन एथलीट टू वर्क फॉर अ प्रोलॉन्ग पीरियड ऑफ टाइम विदाउट गेटिंग फैटीग. तो किसी भी चीज़ की फैटीग को प्रिवेंट करना अपने आप में एक एथलीट का बहुत बड़ा अचीवमेंट होता है. वो हमारी इस थीम का सबसे बड़ा, एक पूरी कॉन्फ्रेंस की सबसे बड़ी थीम है. पिछली बार लास्ट ईयर हम लोगों ने यही कॉन्फ्रेंस होस्ट की थी, ICSM 2019, which was held at BM Build Auditorium, and hope so in the future we will continue this journey with your gracious support. And I would like to start a vote of thanks. Nonetheless, कोई भी कॉन्फ्रेंस, कोई भी चीज़ कभी भी सक्सेसफुल नहीं होती जब उनके पास ऐसा एक बहुत अच्छा ब्यूटीफुल क्राउड नहीं होता. So first of all, I would like all of you to cheer for yourself and give a round of applause. कि आप जैसी इतनी अच्छी, knowledgeable and very patient audience आज हमारे साथ मौजूद है. I would like to extend a warm thanks towards our greatest, among the greatest speakers who have spared their time from across the country and even the globe to share their knowledge and even conclude their wisdom as well. I would also like to convey a vote of thanks towards the HODs and principals of several colleges, especially Dr. Salim Akhtar Naqvi Saab, who has lent a great support to us, Dr. Ajit Saharan, Dr. Maliram Sharma ji, Dr. Sunil Kumar from NIMS, Dr. Deepak Singh from Jay Durga College, and the students from Rajkot, Ahmedabad, and several other colleges and hospitals who have lent their support to us, teams from EHCC, teams from CK Birla Hospital, HODs, and I would also like to extend a great vote of thanks towards my own team, starting from Dr. Utkarsh Kulshresht, Dr. Akshat Tomar, Dr. Sachin Sharma, Dr. Rajat Bhargav, Dr. Hemant Gujar from NIMS, Dr. Sandeep Verma, Dr. Guddi Bhardwaj, Dr. Palak, and many more who have supported us throughout our journey. And especially, not the last, I would also like to thank Dr. Bridge to arrange a fascinating sessions and to look out for the entire things what you have done for us are absolutely into the place. Dr. Eshna Shigyan, Dr. Kapila Jain, Dr. Ruchika Pal, and of course, my dear great friends, Dr. Arun, Dr. Krishna, Dr. Rakesh, Dr. Ram Siag, who have specially come down for this conference, Dr. Siddiq, Dr. BK Lambasar, and our mentor of our hospital, Dr. Ravi Khatri and Dr. Rajiv Duggad. Thank you very much.